YouTube friends and family, I am back. I'm on me an emotional support break. I only drove about 4 people today and I need me a motherfucking break. I ain't stopped at the dispensary, but that's because I'm trying to find me a new place to buy me some weed, which thank God that one of my Lyft customers got in right on time. But anywho, I had a Lyft rider. Look at me in here trying to hit the tail. I had me a Lyft rider earlier, and when I got the Lyft request, it had said that the person was legally blind or whatnot, so that I would have to call them when I get there. Well, I pushed mark as red, but really when I pulled up to the house, I forgot that they said that they was legally blind. But you know, it gives you about 5 minutes to wait on your person to come outside after you notify them that you arrived anyway. And then after the 5 minutes, you have to call. And if they don't answer, then you have the option to say that they were a no-show, or you have the option to wait on them. So after the little 5 minutes had went, I had called them. I'm like, oh shit, they did say he was legally blind to give him a call. Because I had ended up texting and saying, like, my car is gold. Because on Lyft, it shows my car as a black Equinox, but really my car is gold. So it has a little text that I can automatically send that says I'm in a gold Equinox opposed to being in a black one. So I'm like, oh, shit. He's legally blind, so all the colors look the same to him. So I end up calling him, and he's telling me, like, oh, well, there's a car in front of the house, this, that, and the other. And I see the address anyway. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm outside. I'm parked across the street or whatever. He was like, oh, well, I don't know what to do when I get outside. I'm like, plus, if you come to the curb, you know, I can come and help you get in my car. I don't have a problem doing that. I help people get in and out my car all the time, especially old people who may have, like, wheelchairs or walkers or something. I help them all the time. So I'm like, it's not a problem or whatever. So as I'm sitting out there, he still ain't come outside. He like, okay, well, I'll come outside. Basically, like, when I get out there. When, first of all, I really already waited the 5 minutes anyway, so technically I can leave you. But, you know, I'm just waiting or whatnot. And then a guy comes outside. He's a white guy or whatever. Mind you, the picture not showing. But he's a white guy, and he comes outside, and I'm like, hey, like, are you the one waiting on the Lyft? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay. He gets in my car, blase splee. And then he's like, am I going to such and such mental health or so-and-so? I'm like, well, it's not telling me the name of the place that you're going to, but it's only giving me the address. And I'm like, it's off of Schaefer Highway. And he's like, Schaefer Highway? I'm like, yeah. He was like, oh, I must be going to my doctor's office. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe so. So then I get to DaVita Dialysis, which is where the GPS leads me to. So once I get there, I start getting a phone call, and it's from a guy. He's like, hey, I'm still waiting on you to come outside. I mean, he's like, I'm outside. I'm still waiting on you. Are you still here? And I'm like, you mean to tell me that you not the guy that's in my car right now? He's like, no, I'm still outside the house. I'm like, well, a guy came outside the house because I had went to the right house and everything. GPS had me pull up on the wrong side of the street. When I noticed it, I crossed the street and went to the right side. Since he was legally blind, I wanted to help him get in the car. Well, he's like, oh, no, it's not me. So I turn around to the man in my car. I'm like, were you waiting on the Lyft? He's like, yeah, I was waiting on the Lyft to go to the doctor. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, you are not the person who was supposed to be getting in my Lyft, so I'm going to go ahead and take you back home, and I'm going to pick up the right person. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, where were you supposed to be going again? He was like, to such and such mental facility or something. I'm like, well, he's like, can you call the transportation company for me? I said, well, no, I can't call them for you because I don't know the number. I'm like, do you have a phone? Because if he had called them, I would have used his phone to get the last dialed number. He's like, no, I don't have a phone, but can you call whatever his caregiver names is or whatever the case may be? And I'm like, well, sir, I don't know their numbers, but I am going to drop you back off at home and make sure you get back home safely. And then I'm going to pick up the right person, which is his neighbor, and he can get in my car, and I dropped him off at dialysis or whatever. So he and I were talking about it. He's like, that's why you guys should ask for the names. I'm like, well, really, we can't always ask for names because sometimes it can say I'm picking up Jasmine and Joe come out the house. So it's not about asking the names, it's just about communicating where you're going and things like that. So after him, you know, I dropped the man off, made sure he made it into the house safely, picked the other man up, took him to where he was supposed to go, and then went about my day to the rest of my Lyft customers. And the other one happened to be being picked up from DaVita Dialysis anyway. So, baby, you don't tell me when I have to lose weight. Samantha, pretty girl. Sis, you mind your fucking business, bitch. But anyway, I was telling him, I'm like, yeah, you know, blase explain. I'm telling him what happened. He like, yeah, that's crazy. So, you know, I ends up going to pick up another lady. She's Muslim and she doesn't speak English either. So I'm like, hey, are you waiting on the lift? And the name is Husn. So I'm assuming it's like Hassan or something like that. So she ends up trying to say the name to me, and I'm like, yeah, I think that's it. But she couldn't speak English. So when she got in my car, I'm like, do you know, basically where you go? She said Marie Street, Marie. And then the address popped up. I'm like, oh, so you're going to such and such and such and such Marie Street. She's like, yeah, because she didn't speak English. You know, so it's just crazy. You got to be careful when you're picking up people. And then the guy he was mental, I'm not about to be like, oh, get out of my car. You wasn't supposed to get in my car. No, I'm going to make sure he make it back home safely, because obviously he's mental. And you got into the wrong car. Anything could have happened to him. Like, if I was mental, I could have did anything to him, you know? So that was crazy. I was talking about that or whatnot. But I had got a notification from Lyft. It's like, is everything okay? We noticed that your ride is taking a little bit longer. But I ain't had time to text them like, oh, the wrong person got in my car, blase splee. I didn't have time to do all of that. But I'm like, oh no, everything's okay, we're safe and everything. And I went above and beyond to make sure I get this man back to his house and pick the right person up, because I could have canceled his ride too. So, you know, that's just how my day went so far. And I was breaking that down to the other man. He like, oh, shoot, you need you a break. I'm like, yeah, I need to take me a little smoke break right now. And he was like, shoot, you can smoke right now. I'm like, yeah, but you know, some of my Lyft riders, they smoke. More than half of the people who get in my car smoke weed. They be smelling like weed. But sometimes I let people smoke in my car. Or I'll let you hit the breeze in my car. I've even let somebody hit a cigarette in my car when I used to Lyft before. But some people would be like the guy got in my car today, he like, why do I smell weed in here? Because in my door pocket, it's a packet of weed. And it's not any weed left in here. But that's why you smell the weed residue, because the heat was on, it's blowing around, and that's why. But I drive perfectly fine after I smoke some weed. You get what I'm saying? So the shit was crazy. The shit was really motherfucking crazy. But to the person who was saying that I need to lose some weight, this girl had popped up on my timeline today. Y'all know I don't subscribe to YouTube channels as far as like tarot channels and things like that. I'm only subscribed to YouTube movies and Judah Sketch. I don't subscribe to nobody because I just like my algorithm to do what it does. And this girl had popped up on my timeline, and she was talking about some situation where a girl is about to find out that she's pregnant, but she tried to sleep with your friend and this, that, and the other. And that was just so crazy to me, because I noticed, like, when I had started and I don't know that girl and she don't know me, so I'm not saying that her reading was about me. That's why you take what resonates and you leave what does not. So, and of course, if it doesn't resonate with me, I'm not going to take it personal. So I'm just using it for a reference. I noticed that, like, when I had started talking to Cliff, per usual, it's always somebody coming along trying to voice their opinion about who I'm talking to, or, you know, what it is that I got going on in life. For once, I decided to wear a bra, guys. And this bra fits really well. But this is my white one instead of the black one, because the black one is in the dirty clothes. So sorry about that. But, damn, that's this motherfucking Coke. But damn, what was I saying? Oh, the reading, she was like, yeah, you gonna hear about somebody trying to sleep with your friend, and now they gonna come to you saying that they was pregnant or whatever. And it was just reminding me of my reading that I had did, or my video that I did this morning, and I was talking about spending the day with my friend or whatnot, and the lottery situation and everything that happened like that. And we didn't have sex. And that ain't nobody's business anyway, but we didn't have sex, even though he was trying. you know. And I was talking about earlier about somebody saying that they had a video of me dancing around in their living room because I had spent the night over their house. I was cooking and I was dancing around while I was cooking with my t-shirt and my panties on and shit like that. But I said he and I never had sex either. So I'm hearing like, is somebody trying to run back and forth and give messages or something like that, like, oh, you don't want to fuck with her, she was just fucking with her ex, or blase split or something like that. And if somebody pregnant, like, that's the lie that somebody else is going to be trying to be spreading, like, oh yeah, she was fucking so and so, so that ain't your baby or something like that. And for my knowledge, I'm not pregnant. And if I was to be pregnant, I would have to be newly pregnant, like to the point that the pregnancy test probably would come back positive yet. Because I ain't been fucking for real. And then ever since I started talking to Cliff and fucking with him for real, he was the only person I was fucking with. Until I just fucked somebody recently and I made that person put a condom on. So if I was to get pregnant, I know exactly who the fuck that I'm pregnant by. But people be so messy and they be trying to be up in business and start stuff so that what they doing doesn't come to the light. And something about that is about to be exposed. Like somebody name is Aisha. But somebody is spreading rumors about somebody like that. Like, they fucked up something so bad when it comes to me that anything I do, they want to ruin. So it's something like that. And I was getting a message like, if you ever find out that you pregnant, girl, you tell that man exactly what the fuck going on. And he shouldn't have no questions about it because he know what the fuck he was doing. So maybe somebody else is going through something like that. Like you are going to find out that you're pregnant and you got a hating ass friend, cousin, co-worker, or somebody who be trying to spread your business but they don't know you for real. And they gonna be trying to tell this man like, oh no, that ain't your baby. If I was you, I'd DNA test it. Don't listen to a hating ass, bitter ass bitch like that who running their mouth about some shit that they don't fucking know about. So that's for somebody, a divine masculine. Don't listen to your little motherfucking cousins and rat ass friends and bitches who you used to fuck with and shit. When it comes to a new woman that's coming into your life, you get to know that person first. And when it comes to sex and babies, everybody else will be needing to mind their own business anyway. Because bitch, was you with me shooting in the gym? Was you with me fucking? Did you have a condom on or not? Was your dick inside of me? And matter of fact, you got a pussy, so I ain't pregnant by you, so mind your fucking business. And it's something like that that needs to be told to a bitch who don't know how to stay in their place. But yeah, y'all see this little brush? It is so cute. I had left my wig brush at home, so I had stopped at Family Dollar. I needed to give me a phone clip anyway, which is why my phone is clipped up now. And I had picked up this little brush, and it is so cute. It reminds me of Nickelodeon. So yeah, but anyway, I just needed to stop, take me a little pit stop, a little break real quick, get it together and turn my lift back on before I get ready to pick my baby up from work. I'm not gonna let nothing stress me out or nothing like that. Tomorrow I gotta pay the other $670 for our room to renew it for the week. So I need to make sure I have that. But other than that, I ain't stressing about shit. For real. So, yeah. But I just wanted to stop for a minute and get that off my chest. And that's it. And that's all. But speaking of all of that and babies and weight and somebody saying I needed to lose weight, the lady who got in my car who didn't speak English, I was picking her up from the OBGYN. And I keep saying that I need to make me a doctor's appointment anyway just to have a checkup. Not that I think nothing is wrong, but I want to have a checkup. And I was saying like I needed to go back to the OBGYN so she could prescribe me the stuff for so my chin hairs will stop growing, because like I will usually get like a cluster like right here of chin hairs. That's why I be saying I gotta pluck my chin hairs or get rid of my chin hairs. And when I went to the OB-GYN last year, she had told me that to make another appointment and come back so she can give me something to help balance out my hormones. But I never ended up going back to the OB because again, it was just a lot of stuff going on. So I want to make me an appointment to have a checkup and do a follow-up with all of that. Speaking of, somebody gonna find out they pregnant or something like that. So maybe somebody needs to make them an OBGYN appointment. I was going for the chin hairs and just, you know, have me a little pap, or it ain't time for me to have a pap or nothing like that. All my shit came back good, and they told me I don't gotta come back for another, what, you get them every 2 or 4 years. You could get, I think you get pap smears every 2 or 4 years, but you can always go in for like a culture anytime. So yeah. But I'm about to get off here and get back to this lift, because once I pick my baby up, I think I'm gonna be done lifting for today. So again, I'll talk to you guys later. I love y'all. I wish y'all nothing but love, joy, peace, happiness, abundance. Hold on. Never judge a book by its cover. I was just listening to the radio for a split second while I was trying to hook up something, and I think I was listening to Angela Yee, and she was talking to another female, and it was something, I think Angela Yee was saying like, oh well, that's why I don't really judge when by first impressions, or some shit she was saying. And then the other person was like, well, I do, da 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 da. And that's what you get. I was hearing like, that's what you get. This is why you should never judge a book by its cover, because one day you could see me looking like a complete bum and never knew what I was going through, and you treated me like shit, but the whole time I could be an empress or a boss. And I learned that from watching the show Undercover Boss, which used to come on when I was a teenager and shit. And an undercover boss, it would be a CEO or something who owns a company, and he'll come into his company looking like a regular customer, or even dressed like a bum, just to see how his employees are running his business. So you should never judge a book by its cover, because I told you God says clickbait all the time, a dummy trap. And it's very important how you treat people. So just because you might see somebody and maybe their teeth are messed up, or maybe their hair not done that day, or maybe their skin is all broken out, because you never know what could be going on with somebody. Maybe they crying, maybe they're upset and hysterical. You don't know what took place, so you don't know why you're seeing them in that predicament. So you never go and take it upon yourself to cast the first stone, but then be hiding your hands. So you should never judge a book by its cover, running your mouth talking about somebody. Oh, when I seen her, she was musty, her she, especially when you was a part of the reason why. But some people don't be a part of the reason why. They just happen to bump into you at a bad time. But you should always keep in mind how you treat people, because you could be fucking over an undercover boss. So yeah, it's something about that. So be careful how you treat people, because you never know who cut your check. You never know who is clickbait from God, and they'll stop your motherfucking blessings because God sent you an angel and you mistreated them. So keep that in mind, guys. Treat people how you want to be treated. But again, I love y'all. I wish y'all nothing but love, joy, peace, happiness, abundance, good health, good wealth, prosperity, and all that good shit that us good ass people deserve. And I will see and talk to you guys later. Much love. Stay safe in the Detroit streets, or wherever you may be from.